Hello, everybody, and welcome. Happy Thursday to you, and welcome to the Live with Leslie show. And I'm Leslie Bitel. Happy to have you here with me today. And today we have an awesome topic for you. I think you're going to be so excited, as am I, about this particular topic. We have the wonderful Rita Ester here with us today. Hey, Rita, how are you?
Hey, great. How are you?
Good, good. I'm so excited to be able to spend some time with you this afternoon talking about a highly compelling topic, and that is creating content with ChatGPT. Definitely the hot topic, very highly in demand. So today we're going to talk about how to revolutionize your content creation process, i.e., save you tons of time with ChatGPT. And specifically, we are going to touch base on how to effortlessly generate engaging and interesting content ideas, how to, again, save time. Oh, we all want to save time, don't we? Doing some of these tasks within our business. So, how to save time by leveraging ChatGPT to create video intros, blog outlines, social media posts, and of course, much more. And how to overcome writer's block. Isn't writer's block the worst?
I don't have that anymore.
When you're staring at that blank computer going, I just don't feel like I have anything to say. It's the worst. And so we are going to help you to learn how to overcome that, again, through leveraging the really tremendous power of ChatGPT to spark new ideas, provide prompts, and to get fresh perspectives. So, and to boost your visibility and search engine results with, I didn't even know ChatGPT has SEO insight. So I definitely am going to want to hear more about that. So we have a great lineup for you in store for you today. So let's go ahead and jump in. So Rita, I do want to introduce you to my audience. Some of you may know Rita, right? So Rita is my tech genius. So Rita is on my team, and I rely heavily on Rita's brilliance. Not only is she amazing at the behind the scenes tech stuff, she's actually got a lot of really great talents. She's a great designer, got a real eye for design and color. And she even knows marketing. So it's pretty amazing to find one person with all these skills rolled up into one human being. So, Rita, give us a little bit of background. I'd love to hear or for you to share with our audience just a little bit about yourself and a little bit about your journey.
Sure. So before my online world, I worked for 12 years as the marketing director in a Fortune 500 company. I absolutely loved that job. I was actually the top marketing director in the US and Canadian markets for like years and years on end. All the other marketing directors kept trying to beat me, but I just loved what I did. I absolutely adored marketing. And in that position, it wasn't just it was a brick and mortar business, but it wasn't just high level stuff. It was like the nitty gritty stuff. Like we have to do a trade show. Let's set that up properly and get people to the trade show. Or we're launching a new product, so we need flyers and posters, all that kind of stuff. So I absolutely adored doing that. And I worked there for 12 years, but unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, I hit kind of the ceiling. I couldn't go any higher in that business without moving to Michigan, where the world headquarters is. So I didn't want to move. I don't do well with winters. I live in Louisiana.
Oh,
So,
Michigan. Okay.
yes.
We're in Michigan. I don't think I knew
I
this
can't
part
remember
of the
it's
story.
Cadillac, Michigan. Cadillac, Michigan is where it's
Oh,
at.
Cadillac. Okay, because
Mhm.
I'm up in Michigan now.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah, so I'm born and raised and up here in northern Michigan, actually on Lake Michigan. So anyway, I bring that up because I can attest to the cold
Yeah, I don't do
winters.
well. It is 110 degrees today, or expected to be, and I'm in my happy place.
Okay.
But in 2015, I started my online business. Initially, it was just designing logos and business cards and print materials because that's what I was most comfortable with. A little bit of web design because I actually learned how to create websites back in the 90s when Netscape was still a thing. I'm a huge nerd and I love it. And my business has grown and grown over the years. And now I've been full time on my own since 2015, and I absolutely love it. So I get to work with wonderful people like Lesli, and I just love what I do. I get to do all the things that I love, and I get paid for it. So it's a win-win for me.
Amazing. Wow. I love that story. Well, you definitely have what it takes. So I am glad that our paths crossed.
Yes,
And that
indeed.
was quite a few years ago now.
Yeah,
So
we've been together since 2019.
yeah. Yep. I remember that day. That was a good day, Rita.
I think so.
All right, so let's dig in. We have a nice audience with us today, and I'd love to hear from you guys. Are you guys using? Oh, okay, Cindy. Hey, Cindy. Cindy said she's in Michigan. Did not know that. Where in Michigan, Cindy? And I'd love to know what your experiences is with ChatGPT. Are you guys using it?
Oh, yeah.
What
Let
are
us
your thoughts? Give us a little bit of Clarkston. Okay. Clarkston. That's where Pine Knob is, right? I saw lots and lots of concerts at Pine Knob. Okay. All right. So let's see. So Cindy says, I am using Chat GPT and I've been experimenting with it. Okay. Yeah, give me a comment. Let me know what your thoughts are, if you're using it, what your experience has been so far. We would love to hear from you. All right, so let's dig into this exciting topic. So, Rita, how does ChatGPT tell us a little bit about how we can really increase our productivity as health professionals and ultimately save time when it comes to content creation? Because, gosh, it just is so time consuming, right? And this is really, I would love to hear from our audience in terms of, how much time do you spend creating content in your business? And then how much time do you feel like you should spend? That's probably the better question, right? Because my hunch is that probably a lot of people feel like you just can't get enough done. So, so Rita, tell me a little bit about, how can we save time?
Sure. So I don't remember who I heard this from, but it was one of those things about, you can only do so much in a day. And the way that the story was told is you only have so many spoons to spend when it comes to making decisions. And some people get 20 spoons a day. That's just the way they work. And some people get 100 spoons a day. But you only have so many decisions that you can make before you get decision fatigue and you're
Oh,
just done. And so whenever you're sitting down with that blank computer screen and you're like, okay, I need to create a post for Facebook, or I need to write this, or I need to write that. If you spend all of your spoons, so to speak, deciding on what should I talk about, how should I talk about this, that, and the other, not only are you spending that time making those decisions, but you're spending your daily spoons that could be spent on much better things. So if you can go to ChatGPT or a writing assistant, there's several available. Um, let's see. Cindy says hours and hours of chat has changed this, reduced my time writing. Yes. So I personally start off with I tell ChatGPT I am about to do XYZ, writing an email. Today, this morning, I created a job description for I'm hiring somebody for my team, and so it was I need to hire somebody. This is what I'm looking for, and the first thing I want to know is what should I even call this position. So I say this is what I need to hire for. What would you call this position? And it said administrative assistant. Okay, great. I'm hiring an administrative assistant. These are the things I need them to do. Can you create a job description? 10 minutes later, it's done. It's ready to go. So that's one of the many ways that it can save you time.
wow.
You don't have to think. Of course, the big decisions in our business we want to make ourselves, but those little decisions like what do I call this position? Do you really want to spend 10 minutes going, well, is that an admin assistant or is that a virtual assistant? Is that a secretary? And
Right.
and and again, you're spending time and you're spending your spoons, so to speak.
Yeah, I have heard that decision fatigue, right? And I think that's connected to like just the concept of creating habits in your life. Um, I guess being in the field of health, I always think of health, right? Like why these things, or just how decision fatigue can impact our, self-care and our daily habits and things like that, right?
And
So
the things that I have to make a lot of decisions, even though I haven't physically lifted anything heavier than my mouse, I'm exhausted. I am
right.
absolutely wiped out.
Okay. Yeah. So it's just what it helps you. So it just reduces potentially the number of decisions, right?
Mhm.
Okay. So you do have to make the decision to go on the computer and give ChatGPT the prompts, though. I think that might be what kind of scares people away is, oh my God, by the time I feed, ChatGPT, like all the information, for the love of God, I might as well just do it myself, right?
And I
To
do
admit,
understand
sometimes
that.
that crosses my mind.
I do understand that. However, once you've put in the work, that work, then the chat GPT takes it to the finish line. So
Okay.
it's not ever going to replace you. And that's a huge misconception. You can go to chat GPT and say, hey, write a blog about mindful eating habits. I want it to be 1,000 words. It will write a blog. It will be boring. It will not sound like you, and it will never ever rank on Google because it's not interesting, and it's not unusual, and it's not your voice.
Mm.
But if you I recommend, I actually personally have a Google sheet, or a Google Drive rather, with a bunch of different prompts that I'm able to copy and paste with tone of voice, with how many words I want, with that sort of thing. So I can copy and
Okay.
paste it. Most of the things I've already made those decisions once. I don't have to make those decisions again. It's literally copy and paste, put it in. So if I want to blog about mindful eating, then I can say, ChatGPT, I need today we are creating a blog about mindful eating. You are an expert at, I have literally a copy and paste, like you are an expert at brackets. Today we are creating a bracket for niche. And so I just fill those things in. And then I say, we're writing a blog today about mindful eating. I want it to be around 2,000 words. The words that I want to, the phrases I want to rank on Google for are this, that, and the other. Please create an outline. And then there it goes.
I love it. So, all right. Well, I'm going to have you ask you to do a little demo for sure.
Sure.
I think that would be super helpful. Um, so, but just to kind of summarize, it helps reduce the decision fatigue, as you call it.
Hmm.
And ultimately, I do think it would be helpful to visually see how you use it
Sure.
so that we have a better sense of, those that don't use it regularly, right? Like, how can we use it efficiently without that feeling that I described, like, oh, by the time I feed it everything, I might as well.
Somebody in the chat, tell me what you want created. We'll do this in real time with like obviously no prep, because I'm just asking for somebody in the chat live.
Okay.
What do you want me to do? And I will be happy to create anything. And I'll show you, of course, my ChatGPT dashboard. So let me just roll through that
Ooh, okay.
while someone is telling me what we're talking about. So let me share my screen. Excuse me. All right, so present, share screen. I'm not used to StreamYard, so give me just a second.
I have a
Share,
little background noise here, Rita, so I'm going to mute myself while you do the demo.
sure. All right, so here we go. Chat GPT, share. Okay, are y'all able to see my screen? Yes, awesome. Okay, so this is the dashboard. If you want to create an account, you literally go to chat.openai.com and you follow the prompts. I use it with my Google account, but you can also log in with your username, like with a username and password if you prefer. So this is your little. Let me just kind of give you a tour of the dashboard. This is where you start. So this is your examples of what it can do, some capabilities, some limitations. Just do realize that ChatGPT may occasionally create incorrect information. You always want to fact check. It may occasionally produce harmful instructions or biased content, and it's limited to a world of events before 2021. It says after, or limited knowledge after 2021. So this is the what you call it. These are all my past, not all my past chats, but my past chats. And then I do have two accounts. This is my free account that I use personally, and I do have a paid account that I use for my business. So this will be like your user area where you can create your conversations, settings, help, frequently asked questions, etc. But we're going to start a new chat. Boom. Just going to close this out here. Let me take a look at the chat. Can I do a blog example of what you just mentioned? Example of a meal plan. Yes, we can definitely do that. Anna, ChatGPT does not create images. However, there are AI platforms that do. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. I don't use those, but there are the same exact thing that we're creating text. There are AI image generating robots. So that's pretty cool too. So Anna wants a blog post about meal planning. Okay, so first I'm going to seed it just a little bit with you are an expert at writing SEO blog posts in the health and nutrition niche. Our job today is to create a new blog post about meal planning. Our target keyword and phrases are. Actually, I want to ask ChatGPT what would be some good SEO keywords. What are some SEO keywords I should focus on? I would say keywords and phrases. So start there. Is thinking. Now, if you upgrade to the paid ChatGPT, it does work a little bit faster. And again, I have both. The output is very similar. I do have both just because my team uses the other one a lot. Okay, so when it comes to SEO friendly blog post, here are some SEO keywords and phrases I should consider focusing on. So I'm just going to browse through these and find one that I like. So meal planning, time saving, meal planning. Let's go with budget friendly meal planning just because I feel like that is I like. Let's see. Let's go with budget friendly meal planning. Meal time saving meal. You can actually just give it a number. You don't have to type it out. So let's go with it was number 10, number 15, number 16. Give me 10 unique blog post titles that are engaging and interesting. All right, Anna, if you see one that you like quick enough, then go ahead and put that in the chat. Let's see, or put it in the comments. See, some of these don't really apply to the ones that I said, but I think I really like number 1. Okay, let's go with number 1. Using the keywords listed above, create an outline for this blog post with the goal of having at least 2,000 words. Use I want to say like bullet points, numbered list, examples, and stories in each section. Okay, so while this is generating, I want to point out that in the introduction, the second bullet is it's asking you for a relatable personal story or compelling statistic. So if I just come out, if I initially just said, hey, ChatGPT, write a blog post about meal planning on a budget, it would not ask for that personal story. So by having this outline, then this is telling you, like, it knows what Google is looking for. It's telling you that right up front, Google wants a personal story about a relatable personal story or a compelling statistic to grab the reader's attention. So that's what it's asking for because it knows that Google wants that. All right. It's giving you A, B, and C. It's, of course, we're asking for bullet points and step-by-step stuff because Google likes that. And it stopped. So this is obviously not finished. It doesn't have a conclusion paragraph. Excuse me. I'm working in the garden. I think I'm allergic to something out there. Anyway, the free version of ChatGPT does limit the output. So sometimes you just need to say continue, continue, boom, and then it's going to keep going. The paid version doesn't have that problem, but the paid version is only $20 a month. It's not that much, but as we know, as business owners, sometimes we just feel like we're nickeled and dimed to death and we just don't want to spend another $20. I get it. So it took me a while actually to get the paid version. So there we go. Here's our entire outline. In general, at this point, I start a Google Doc so that I can just refer back to that instead of having to scroll up in the chat. Because the way that I do blog posts is I actually just take it section by section to write this. So let's do the introduction here. I generally paste what the section is that we're writing. So I remind the chatbot what we're writing about. My relatable personal story is when, let me just think of something. When I can think of something, when suddenly I was a mother of twins. Suddenly, obviously, it took 9 months to get there, but and had more mouths to feed on the same budget. Instead of cutting back on our portion sizes as a family, eating healthy without breaking the bank, we learned to shop for fresh foods at farmers markets, buy in bulk, and plan our meals ahead to save money. Plus, we ended up eating healthier as a result. That was 22 years ago. Jeez Louise. That was 22 years ago. And I still love to plan ahead and save money. All right, so it's going to write that section for me. Okay, so this is a little clunky. Let me share a personal story that highlights the impact of budget-friendly meal planning. One of the people that I follow who is way more into this than I am, she says, like, in general, the first sentence of like a lot of paragraphs, or she just calls them throwaway. Just throw that one away. Throw that one away. And just start with 22 years ago. So that would be a throwaway sentence. And if I didn't like it, let's just say that I'm just like, this does not even sound like me. So I might say, rewrite this portion and all future outputs to have a tone of voice that is friendly, witty, a little sarcastic. I'm just going to put a little sarcastic because that's my personality. Do not use big words, technical jargon. Those do not work when it comes to blogs. And keep the tone light. Use first person or second person point of view throughout. There we go. So it's going to rewrite it. Now, this is a little too far the other way. We're going to embark on an amazing adventure of budget friendly meal planning. This is why you can't just take it as it is. There is some editing. It is a writing assistant, not a writer. So you're always going to have to edit, um, even if the outputs are great, you still have to come back through. But I would definitely take out the get ready to embark. There's not an amazing adventure, at least for me, when it comes to budget friendly meal planning.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I
So,
don't think anyone has that, right?
however, the second paragraph is really good. Picture this. I suddenly found myself knee deep in the chaos of raising twins. Double the cuteness, double the mischief, and double the mouths to feed. But guess what? I would keep this 100%. I wouldn't change a thing about that paragraph. So this is how I do it. This is my workflow when it comes to writing blogs. I have my Google Doc that has the outline on it, and then another Google Doc that has the outputs, and then I will literally copy and paste paragraph by paragraph, and then at the end, I will run it back through for a few other things. But that's the basics of how you can create a blog post. So instead of taking 4 hours to write this, it might only take me an hour. You still have to spend the time though. So is that helpful?
Yeah, what questions you guys have? Actually, I have a few that I want to show. This is a great question.
Mm.
I don't know if Rita, can you comment on this? The
I have,
legalities?
I've watched so many different webinars and trainings on the legality of ChatGPT. From what I understand, and again, I am no lawyer, but from what I understand, like the end user license agreement says that you can use that content however you'd like. They are not responsible for faulty output. So it's your job to fact check it. Okay. It's your job to make sure that it is factually correct. So that would actually fall on you. If
Right.
somebody followed the advice and it was terrible and you got it from ChatGPT, you can't turn around and sue them. So from what I understand, that's the only legalities really, is that you need to fact check it. As part of your agreement with ChatGPT, that you're not going to hold them liable for incorrect information.
Okay. I'd be curious to know if you guys have heard anything in addition to that, because that really is an interesting topic.
And I'm of course in these communities. This is what I
Right.
do all day, and that's the only thing that I've heard. That is part of the agreement, is that you can use them. You can use the outputs for everything. If you had to, at the moment, it is not required that you say generated with ChatGPT or watermark it or anything. They've considered passing laws that say that you have to. There was a case in Texas, I believe it was, where in court somebody used ChatGPT generated responses in their argument, and it was completely, they were like citing laws that didn't exist or case law that never happened. So that's whenever they were like, well, we need to put a stop to this and make sure that anything that's ChatGPT related has a watermark on it so that we can tell. They haven't done that yet. So
Okay. Yeah, so Cindy says, yeah, yesterday Leslie suggested maybe my ebooks needed more creative titles. Oh, great. And so you used ChatGPT to create titles and it was super quick and easy.
I have
Fantastic.
a great thing I can show y'all real quick in ChatGPT on creative titles.
Okay, yeah.
A little hack.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
Okay, I think we did that one, right?
yeah.
Oh,
So
and this is Nora's suggestion if we're going to do any more. Is there a way to get images?
yeah, I've already addressed that. I think whenever you find my window again. Okay. All right. So let's do a new chat.
Okay, go ahead. Let me, I'll add this to the stream.
All right, perfect. So let's say that you have, we want to do interesting angles on meal planning. Let's see. Let's see. Your business is, um, let's see, you are an expert dietitian who helps people with meal planning. What are some interesting, contrary, argumentative? Is it mentative or argumentative? Argumentative. I can't spell, obviously. There we go. Oh, interesting, contrary, argumentative, or I already said interesting, or unusual takes on meal planning. Please be as creative as possible. But we'll stop there. The 80-20 rule reversed. Okay. So there you go. That's how I would come up with something interesting and new is basically what I'm asking. I'm asking it to be argumentative, unusual, interesting, contrary, because I want something that's completely different and will stand out. And that's how I do that.
Okay. Very cool. What questions do you guys have? Put them in the chat because we do have a little bit of time left to talk about your questions. All right, let's see here. I think we talked about how ChatGPT assists health professionals in optimizing their content for search engines, right?
Yes.
So we feel like we're good to go on that one.
Yes.
And then, are there any additional kind of pitfalls or challenges that, especially, those of us that may be a little less tech savvy, anything that we want to be aware of and tips
Sure.
to overcome those?
One of the main problems with the ChatGPT output, and it's something that I struggle with myself for a while, as Leslie can attest, is repeating content. So it just happens. There's really nothing that we can do about that. What I use is now Grammarly to kind of go through and see, am I repeating myself too much? I also, after I have completed whatever I'm completing, whether it's a blog post or an email or social media content, I don't send it to a client or publish it until I've sat on it like the next day. I want to look at it with fresh eyes. Um, of course, we've already talked about it a little bit, but I want to expand on the pitfall of um, incorrect facts or statistics. So let's just say that I'm writing a blog post about email marketing, and I say that email marketing, ChatGPT says that email marketing is 36% more effective than social media marketing. I don't know if that statistic is correct. So that's a pitfall. But instead of using that as a pitfall, I take that as a cue to research how much. I will literally then say, go to Google and say, how much more effective is email marketing than social media marketing? Find an article from a reputable source that gives a statistic. And then there's my outbound links that I need for SEO anyway. So that's how I use that. It is a pitfall, but I just use it as a cue from ChatGPT to say this is where you put in an interesting statistic. Um, Another thing is just it seems very simple to get started. We're just like, oh, just start a chat. But once you get started, and you're like, oh, this isn't as easy as I thought. And a lot of people are like, oh, I love ChatGPT. I'm going to try that. That sounds so great. And then 10 minutes later, they're like, well, it doesn't give me anything good. So one of the pitfalls is, it's garbage in, garbage out. And when this all boils down to, you're talking to a computer. So if you don't tell the computer who you are, what you do, what the tone of voice is, et cetera, it just doesn't know. One thing that you can do, like for tone of voice, is you can take your existing blog posts or emails, copy it into ChatGPT, paste it, and then ask ChatGPT to say, what tone of voice would this be? If I were to ask a writing assistant to write material that sounds like me, what instructions should I give that writing assistant? And then it will just tell you. And so then you say, okay, great. Then you copy and paste that and say, write an article for me. Here's how I want you to sound. And so it's like giving itself its own instructions, but you do have to prime it. It just doesn't, out of the box, it's not going to write things to get you to number one on Google at all. Someone says, do I have a favorite resource for prompts? Can I use this for pinning? I don't understand. Is that like for Pinterest? Is that what you're asking? I'm not sure, Cindy. And somebody said, do I have a favorite resource for prompts? I do. There's a few people that I follow on YouTube. One of my favorites is Corey Who Writes. That's Corrie Who Writes. She's a blonde-headed chick, a little bit younger than me, and she's just very straightforward. There's not a whole bunch of, okay, guys. It's just very like, all right, today let me talk about this. And I just really love her delivery. I usually, personally, part of my daily routine is while I'm getting ready for work, I listen to something educational, and a lot of times it is her. But I've also, over time, created my own prompts library resources. If you're in a couple of Leslie's coaching programs, then you would know that I've done a few master classes on this and shared my exact prompts with where there's a program that Leslie has called the Income Accelerator. It's a monthly group coaching program. Not that I'm trying to sell it, but I mean, if you want to come in, I do a training once a month on it. And I shared my exact prompts. Like I literally made my personal Google sheet into a PDF for that class so that you can steal what I use and take it and run with it. So that's my favorite source of prompts is my own library. But let me just say that that didn't happen overnight. And don't let not having a stack of prompts, we call it a prompt stack, don't let not having that stop you. So if you put something into ChatGPT and the output is great, then copy and paste that onto your prompt stack document and just keep it there. And then if it's something that's terrible, then obviously you don't want to keep that. So just create your own as you're going. What is your way? Can we ask the key? Of course, let's do that right now. Do we have time, Leslie?
Yeah, we're good. Let's do it. Hey, Nora, how are you?
I'm not sure what our
yeah. Let me
time
look at our time frame here. I think we're good though.
Can you ask ChatGPT what the keywords? Let's do a new chat. Hang on. New chat. What are give me a list of 20 key SEO friendly keywords for a blog that helps people with IBS. Please include content clusters and other ideas to help me rank on Google.
Oh, should I do a screen share here?
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were that.
Right.
I'm just working away.
I have until I have a hard stop at 25 after, so okay, we're good.
Okay. So here's some keywords it's giving. And then I asked for some content clusters. Now, Google loves content clusters. And what that means is that you create several blog posts around the same subject. There are just a little bit of SEO training real quick. There's 3 stages of a journey in Google's eyes for a Google user. So the first stage is ideas. So like I need ideas for meal planning. The second phase is what's best. So is Living Plate better than Healthy, or is WordPress better than Squarespace? So like the best whatever. And then the third phase is they're ready to buy. And that's whenever you just say you're just ready to sign up for X, Y, and Z. So those content clusters really help. So for example, with Leslie's content, a lot of her clients create courses. So we had a blog post about what to consider when you're creating your own course. We had a blog post about how to market and sell your course. Then we even had a blog post about the different software, like what course creation software is best for the health professionals. All of those are going around the same keyword of health professionals who want to create a course, basically. So content clusters is where that comes in. So you can have comprehensive guide, recipe collection, symptom management, stress reduction. So let's just say that I wanted to do one about symptom management. So let's just say, let's focus on number 3. Give me 10 SEO friendly blog post titles about symptom management for IBS. And then you're off to the races. You can ask for hashtags if you're doing, let's just say, give me 20 hashtags I can use on social media to promote these blog posts once they are live. Boom. What are some emojis I can use to spice up my content when it comes to? Yes, here's I'm just showing you a whole bunch of ways that I use this on a daily basis.
This is great.
So did that answer your question, Nora? I hope so. All right, let me stop sharing. Uh, it does not, Elena, it does not have the capabilities to have references. So again, I would just use it the same way as whenever it's saying whatever fact it is. Like, I just read something yesterday, literally true story. I read something yesterday that counting calories was actually bad science. And so if you wrote a blog post about that and it said, according to the Mayo Institute, obviously that's not going to be a proper reference. But all you want to do is whenever ChatGPT inserts something like that, do a Google search for that, find the appropriate reference and put that in. So it will save you a ton of time as far as knowing what you should be referencing, but it's not going to find you those references. Although there are other tools actually that do that. I think it's called Scholar, like Google Scholar or something. My kid uses that for school for his, I don't know what it is.
Okay.
I'm guessing.
Cindy, yeah, she says yes.
Awesome.
I think her original question was about
For
using
Pinterest.
it for Pinterest.
Yes. So just you would do the same input. So you're an expert at marketing on Pinterest. Help me create a description for X, Y, and Z using Pinterest friendly language. I personally haven't used Pinterest since they changed the algorithm 2 years ago. It's just I don't know. It's different. I don't like it anymore. I used to be in there all the time. But yeah, so just ask it for the things that you would need. As if, let's just pretend like you had an assistant that worked in the next room over. You would say, hey, can you go ahead and write me a blah, blah, blah for Pinterest? Just do the same thing with the ChatGPT.
Love that. Great analogy.
It's a pitfall. I'm not quite, I think what we were saying is some of the pitfalls of ChatGPT are incorrect information.
Right.
So if you are writing about what you know about, you're going to know if this is right or wrong. Now, if you're a content farm that's just using ChatGPT to pop out ridiculous content for, whatever, there are content farms that target small businesses. Like, oh, we can write all of your blog posts, 5 a month for only $250. It's a content farm. They have no idea what they're talking about. They don't know if it's right or wrong. If you are writing about something if ChatGPT is helping you write about something that you already know about, you're going to know if it's absolutely wrong. Okay. So you're just going to say, and if it does output something that's factually incorrect, then you can just tell ChatGPT, say, instead of XYZ fact, can you focus on something else? Because you'll have your creative juices going and you'll come up with something else.
Okay. Great. And hey, Yvette. So Yvette loves the idea of the
I
hashtag.
use it for all kinds of social media stuff. I
Okay.
love it.
So hashtags for like Instagram.
Or just, sometimes even if I'm texting my son, I'll be like, hashtag it's raining or hashtag it's hot, like whatever.
Okay.
So just for sometimes in actual copy, even if I'm not meaning it for like a branded hashtag, but just to like, oh gosh, can you imagine blah, 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 hashtag exhausted. So I might tell ChatGPT to write a social media post. Feel free to use hashtags throughout as if I were in normal conversation.
Okay.
I'm not sure. Oh, that's. I think that honestly, Anna, this is about as technical as you're going to get. You would just use it the same way as if you hired a person to help you create content for your business. It's no different than using ChatGPT. So again, anything that has to do with medical knowledge, it's just going to have to be fact checked. But you can ask ChatGPT, say, "Hey, I'm creating an onboarding document for my client. This is how I'm going to help them. These are the things I need for them. Can you help me create a checklist?" So you're not asking ChatGPT, "What should I know about somebody who suffers with IBS?" On a clinical basis. But you can ask like other things. I wouldn't use it as far as like actual medical advice in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah. Okay. Good advice. Okay. All right, guys. I think you guys have some great questions. Do you guys feel better about using ChatGPT?
Y'all should sign up for the Income
Confident?
Accelerator. Just saying.
Yeah.
LeslieBitel.com/accelerate, I believe.
Yeah. Why don't we
Because
type that in the chat?
let me see if that's the right right URL.
Give me the URL.
Let me see. I think that's what it is. It
LeslieBitel.com
is
forward
Leslie Bitel
slash
Accelerate.
income.
No, Accelerator. I'm
Okay.
sorry. /accelerate.
Okay.
And if you do join, by the way, and this is not playing, I'm just saying, Leslie did not ask me to
Oops,
talk
I
about
do
this.
need to spell it correctly, though.
If you decide to enroll in the Income Accelerator, I personally do a monthly tech talk where you can, we have prepared topics and you can ask me any question. I'm happy to help you. And you have access to all of the library. Like there's hours and hours of recordings of Leslie doing coaching. And then Leslie does it once a month. It's Leslie coaches business coaching, and I do tech coaching basically. So you get 2 live calls a month, and whenever you enroll, you get access to the entire vault
Right.
of more than a year's worth of content.
Right. Yeah. And it's a sweet deal, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. And don't forget, you get a Facebook group as well.
Oh,
So
true story.
you get, that sense of community is so important,
Oh, I
especially
love
these
the group.
days, right?
You can
Because
tag me in the group, and anybody who's on here, there's probably somebody watching that's in the group. They can tell you like I'm on there. I'm like white on rice. Like here you go. Or sometimes I'll even say, let's just hop on a quick 10-minute Zoom. I can help you with that. It won't take but a second.
it's unparalleled, truly, for a super low investment level. So yeah, we'd love to have you. Check it out, LeslieBitel.com /accelerate, as in let's accelerate your business results, right? So let's do it. We are, gosh, we're going into the second half of the year. Can you guys
Yeah.
believe that? Actually,
Ooh.
here we are. June's almost over for all intents and purposes. Like we're almost in July. So yeah, let's bring it home, right? You guys still, we still have time to help you to achieve your financial goals, your business goals in 2023. So if you're looking for a supportive group, definitely check out LeslieBitel.com /accelerate. Like Rita said, we do 2 live calls a month. 2 live calls, guys. You get access to all kinds of, let's just call it a content library, dating back to at least a year, a little bit more than a year, plus a really active Facebook community. So would love to see you there. All right, guys. Well, we are going to have to wrap up. Time flies as usual, doesn't it, Rita?
I could talk about this all day.
So much fun. Yeah. This is such a good topic. I learned some new things myself. And I'm hoping that everyone here got a ton of value. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Super interesting conversation. And Nora, definitely it's on my top list of things to do. Hannah says, thank you. Anna says, yes, you explained this in a great way. I'm looking for a script. Okay, great. All right. I think, and then Heidi, do we answer this one?
It does help me generate ideas. Just so I don't, again, as we started with, I don't have to think about what should I talk about.
Yeah.
I just know that I want my job right now, the next hour, is to write a blog post. What should I write a blog post about?
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? So I just use it as somebody to bounce ideas off of.
Well, what do you ask it to help you come up with ideas? Like, what's your prompt for that?
I generally, depending on whether I'm working for myself or for clients, I have an SEO phrase or in mind already because I've already done SEO research another time. So I might say, hey, I really want to write a blog post about time management. Can you help me think of some ideas, unusual takes, contrary angles, etc.? And then Next thing I know, an hour and a half has passed, and I've got a blog post written.
Awesome. What a tool. Okay. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, Heidi. I didn't realize. My
Heidi
bad.
came late.
Oh,
No worries.
sorry.
All right, guys, we're going to wrap up. It was great spending time with you today. And let's see. Um, oh,
Oh,
great.
thank
Great.
you, Susan.
Oh, Susan, we love you.
Oh,
You're the
I
best.
emailed you yesterday, Susan. I don't know if you got it. Just let you know.
Susan's extraordinary dietitian in Florida.
Uh,
Yes. All right. We love having Susan in Lucrative Course Blueprint. You're going to do great things, my friend. All right, guys. Listen, we could talk all day, but I know you've got things to do and places to go. So we're going to wrap up. So thank you so very much for joining us. Really appreciate it. And I'm going to repost that link. I did. All right, I'm going to repost this link at the bottom. So, guys, if you want to get reminders for the every time we go live, make sure you click this link and you will get automated reminders. Pretty cool, right? So you'll never miss a live stream. So I will repost that towards the bottom so that it's easy to find. All right, guys, have a great rest of your day, an awesome weekend, and we'll look forward to seeing you next week. All right, bye for now.